want to know, I stood still for 5 seconds, pulled a little bit of a Mitch McConnell, and Par fell for it. Par fell for it. He was like, did the camera freeze? Like, Par was kind of freaking out. And all the meanwhile, things were happening in the background, but Par still believed that his computer froze.
And
it was wild.
And
my man did not have his cup of coffee.
I explained why I didn't see the things in the background, but now I guess we're just gonna cut it all out.
Yep.
That's fine. That's cool.
Hey,
it's the usual here.
You know, it's the video. We're gonna distort it. We're gonna get it for the drama. They're not gonna know that you had a reasonable excuse. But you know what isn't reasonable? The fact that Kuina's on this color spread.
Yeah, that did trigger my fight or flight. There was 2 things that triggered it. It was the possible man marked by flames thing in the back, but like obviously that's probably just like Zoro's dad or grandfather or Ryuma. Could be that. You know how sick it would be if Zoro's dad had like red hair for some reason? That'd be kind of sick.
That'd be kind of cool.
On the other side of it, I thought that was Tashigi.
Same.
I got so upset.
She got aged up, right? Like this isn't the same little Kuina that we know. Like this Kuina is like teenage Kuina, like Kuina that survived the staircase incident.
This is the live action Kuina.
Yeah. You know what they don't show? Maybe Kuina did survive, and then like below the color spread, she's like in a wheelchair because she fell down the stairs. You ever think about that? That'd be kind of sad.
We're not going to the happy place. We're not going to the.
We're going to the river Styx. We're going to the underworld.
Yeah, I can't believe I laughed at that. That's crazy.
No, I mean that's an honest thing. Like, what if she did survive? Like, what if this is Oda?
She's just been hiding from. Like, she just didn't want to fight Zoro because she knew that the next day she'd lose to Zoro. So she's just like, you know what? I gotta stage my death.
I gotta stage my death. And then she like actually breaks her legs, and the next time we see her, she's like Shiki. She's like, I have 2 legs styled. I'm not gonna lie. I could see a universe where Imu dies due to falling down all of those stairs in the empty throne room, because that's a lot of stairs when you really look at it. I went back there a couple chapters ago, and I saw that throne room, and let me tell you, I counted at least 70 steps. I would have tripped and fell. There's like not really hand railing either. Like, yeah, that's GG, right?
Yeah, that's why there's the theory that Tashigi or Kuina died not at like, because we never even, what dojo has stairs? When you really think about it, you know, all those things are like one story, you know, it's very, very rare. Like, you know what I mean? Like a 2-story Japanese feudal Japan thing, like 2 stories is like Nobunaga had that. Yeah.
Maybe it's like a bridge to Terabithia kind of thing where like one day she was running to the dojo, she slipped and she hit her head. And then now she exists in a different field of dimension. Maybe Zoro's gonna like, you know, go to the underworld and see Kuina there. Do you think that's a thing? Like Zoro can like go into his King of Hell mode and then he can see Kuina and all the dead people around him? That'd be kind of nuts.
Yes, actually. Like, no, actually, I do think that.
Like Kuina's like on fire, like like no legs. That'd be insane.
No, yes and no. Like,
so you agree with this theory completely? The guy in the background, red hair, I like the idea that it could be Arashi or Pinzoro, but I do think it's Ryuma to stick on the monsters theme, and especially since he's right next to the dragon, I feel like it's at least for me it's pretty cut and dry. But I do like the Arashi theories because we have no idea what Zoro's dad looks like. Like we have like the brief snippet of like, hey, he died to pirates, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
I think
I'm just wondering.
Cool.
Like, why is the hair red?
Artistic liberties. Why is the dragon black?
Wasn't the dragon always black?
In Monsters, I thought it was like red.
Wait, I thought Monsters was black and white. Is there a colored version? Did I miss?
I don't know if there's like a colored version.
I feel like I just remember black and white. I just remember like the old school manga art, and then Shirano was like the most stereotypical.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at Monsters right now. There is no official colored version. And the way the dragon is shown, it looks like he's light colored. So like red or like white or something like that. Because he doesn't have like any crazy shading.
But to be fair, that dragon is a Western dragon. This is an Eastern dragon, right? They're very different looking dragons. The monster's dragon looks very different than this one. I'm like 90. I don't even need to look it up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Who do you think the guy in the background is?
I honestly, I don't know. The only thing is, it's like Oda's been teasing this man marked by flames, and this guy is just like a man marked by flames. Like, I don't know. He has red hair. Like, if you wanted to headcanon fan fiction,
but if man marked by flames, like, and he is so Arashi, or if he is Pinzero, they're already dead though. Since he died by pirates, maybe Don Krieg killed him.
Don Krieg's a man marked by flames. You heard it here first, guys.
He's the. Hey, he did have a fire ability, so who knows? Maybe there was like a, maybe something went wrong. Maybe like his little gasoline pipe got clogged up, set himself on fire. Don Krieg's gonna come back, and he's gonna be the man marked by flames. And he was touted as the strongest man in the world at one point. He said it himself. I don't know if you want to believe it or not, but I would say the strongest man in the world is able to lift poneglyphs. I think there's something there. And you know how they said that Shiryu was brainstorming, and Shiryu said that whoever has the poneglyph, there's a chance they could work for the world government.
Mm-hmm.
Because, right, it would make sense, right? Like the world government, they keep a poneglyph to keep it under wraps. Don Krieg, before he was a pirate, he actually worked with the Navy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Foul
That's why
play
he's an admiral.
Krieg.
Yeah.
He's the pirate fleet admiral. Think about that.
Yeah, the man who got lost in the Grand Line for 7 days and needed Zeph's logbook. By the way, he started drooling. He was like, "Read like Zeph? You have a book? You wrote things about the Grand Line."
You know what's crazy? The craziest part is that Zeph didn't even make it to Laugh Tale. So like, he's gonna get a book that's incomplete. Like, the book's gonna be like, yeah, I went to like 3 or 4 islands and I came back home. Like, like here's a recipe for tonight's soup.
At that rate,
logbook.
Zeph is closer to being the man marked by flames than anybody. He cooks. That's the common marked by flames, like a idiom. And then his red leg. Where did Sanji learn his fiery leg thing? Like, maybe it's just Zeph. Zeph in his logbook, the one thing that he did, the one meaningful thing, there's a red block on Fishman Island.
Yeah. You know how
let me tell you.
Go for it.
Let me tell you.
Spit.
The thing is, people might be wanting to shit on this, like, oh, Pars lost it. He's the worst possible person. No, actually, he's the best option out of everybody else. You want to know why? He has 2 submarines.
Oh, yeah, he does.
He has 2.
And here's the thing. It wasn't shown in the anime. Oda's playing this one close to his chest.
Yeah.
The submarines were shown in the cover pages, right?
Yeah, 2. He has a sister ship for desserts. Then a second one, I think Patty has. Both of them are submarines. And then I forgot the third one. The Bratti has a submarine, like, on it, like, equipped. It just comes out. It's his own ship.
Man, he kind of has Pluton working over there, huh?
Yeah, Zeph is cracked.
Yeah,
we've been talking
crazy
about Don Krieg for the longest time. My man ate his own, like, he's been hiding the One Piece. The One Piece was in his goddamn leg.
he unscrews it, and then you see like a little treasure box in there.
Yeah. Oh god. It's the rubbings.
That would be cracked. Maybe that's why Big Mom was keeping tabs on Zeph. It wasn't for Sanji. It was so that she could hit the laugh tail faster.
That's why he's called Red Leg Zeph, because it's the red poneglyphs rubbings in his leg.
Yeah.
He's had it the entire time.
And you know how they say X marks the spot?
Yeah.
Technically, his leg got X'd off of this world. Do you think Zeph has armament hockey? Like, on a real note, do you think he has armament hockey? Because I feel like he should, right? Like,
yeah.
What, like, Redfoot Zeph, like, over here killing people with his boot? Taught Sanji how to fight? Yeah, dude. He's an OG from that era. Dude, he has to have hockey.
We're gonna see a panel, right? We're gonna see, like, Zeph having a flashback with Roger.
yeah, like Zeph and Roger, they're chill. Maybe, like, he cooks for him one day, like, something weird happens. Maybe he knows Whitebeard. And then now that same Zeph is cowering in fear to Don Krieg. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, like,
the god dang authority chip hierarchy.
Man. I was wondering when we were
1, 2, 3, 4. We've seen this hierarchy so many times already in the past 20 chapters. I'm sick of it. You know what? I want to be up there. Put me in the authority hierarchy at this point. We finally got Atlas giving out the order. All the pacifistas are turning on the Marines. They start blowing them up. And yeah, things are looking pretty good. But they do want to save Bonney.
Yeah.
They want to save Bonney.
Yeah, I'll be pretty blunt about it. I really didn't like the third, like the fact that Oda putting the authority chip here again. It's like
you didn't like it.
Not that I didn't. Okay. The gaslighting tone's crazy.
Gaslighting? What are you talking about?
There's gasoline. I just found out about cola power. Like, oh my god, no
gasoline fire. Is that the man marked by flames?
Like, to a certain extent, Oda doing this for like the 5th time in recent chapters is basically like he's writing for toddlers. You know what I mean? Because if you did not like
some the anime filler.
The title is Saint J. Garcia Saturn. Right above it is the 5 elders and Vegapunk's out there. Oh my god, you know what would be the craziest thing? In order for Vegapunk, this is a bad thing. Oh, you know what we keep on emphasizing? There's a guy that they don't know about, and then he's probably gonna show up in the chapter titled here, guys. And it's like all you needed was the title. You didn't need the authority chip again. I'm pretty sure, didn't we get it last chapter and the chapter before that?
Yeah, it's
so
pretty crazy. It's really overkill. It's one of those things where it's like, if you really needed this 5th reminder, you're the problem. Like maybe Oda feels the need to do this, right? Like, maybe we don't know Oda, right? So maybe people are like, hey Oda, I keep forgetting stuff. Like, can you please remind me? Like maybe there are a lot of people out there who just don't know this.
Damn, there's a giant like monster bug over there. But we'll leave it there. That is crazy.
You got this far. Don't let the bug kill you during the call.
Yeah. Let me get my weapons out.
So whenever I have a bug in my house, I invoke chemical warfare. Like Windex, bug spray, Clorox, bleach. Because if they have wings, it like weighs them down. They can't do anything. They get a little bit sticky. Like, it's perfect. Chemical warfare, guys, on bugs, beautiful. Okay, so Par survived the bug invasion in his household. Somehow.
Yes.
Somehow. It's either that or a bug is now wearing Par's skin and he is taken over. But we're here. And you know who isn't here? Bonney. We're still looking for
Bonney.
But Sanji finds her really quick. It's kind of nice that Sanji is able to zip zap his way over to Bonney. Like, he uses his crazy observation, just goes after her. And all the meanwhile, the Vegatank 8 is slowly rolling down this cloud.
Yeah, it's an interesting piece of technology, that's for sure.
It's so cool, right? Like, imagine, maybe Zeus can eat this cloud, and then he could start raining on somebody, and it'll be really sticky, and they can't move her, you know? They're stuck to the ground a little bit.
Like snow?
Snow doesn't stick you to the ground, though, right?
I mean, if you stood still long enough.
If it freezes you, yeah. That's not exactly the same, though, right?
Yeah, but as far as we
like when it starts snowing, I don't go outside. I'm like, oh, I'm stuck here for the next hour. God.
Well, hey, you just haven't been to Antarctica.
Well, that's because of weather conditions and how cold it is, though. That's not because the snow is inherently sticky.
You just gotta open up your imagination, you know?
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
This is the Par vision, guys. Remember, Par hasn't posted a theory in a couple of months. He's a little bit rusty. Now we just have to help him. And you know what? Any theory that Par can cook up, I'll take it. Maybe this is the next video. Maybe this will get him back on track.
This is the one.
We're just going to agree. Yeah, Par, sometimes when it snows outside here in Oklahoma, sometimes we all get stuck.
Does it snow there that?
Yeah, I mean, usually we'll get 1 inch of snow, and I don't see my family for a couple of months.
Yeah. So it rains, but immediately freezes. So so sometimes you'll see a
But this cloud isn't like ice related though.
Hey, all I'm saying is it could be. We have bubbles with sea properties. We have clouds with sticky properties. Who's to say we don't have more liquids with more properties? That's all I'm saying, Sai. We're agreeing. We even had clouds.
I feel like one of those guys. Okay, now I feel like you're gaslighting me a little bit because like
I learned from the best.
This is like one of those moments where you're walking by in the mall, a guy stops you and he's like, "Hey, do you like dogs?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I love dogs." And then and then a guy in a dog costume comes out and he's like, "So you love me, right?" Like that's what you're doing. Like, yeah, I'm saying such a simple concept and you're taking it to like the most extreme levels. This is the Power Vision, baby. Let's go. That's wild.
I was like, how is he gonna make this analogy work? Guy in a dog costume.
But you know who has that dog in him? This Vice Admiral.
Oh my god.
It's crazy, man. Seashell? Come on.
The sea dog.
Sea otter. Whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Well, a sea otter is like it's like a dog of the sea, right?
Yeah, that's why I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a sea puppy. Well, technically like sea...
It's like a sea
lions. Yeah. No, not sea lions. No, yeah, otters. Or what are the other ones? Not sea lions.
You're thinking of like
seals?
Whales.
No, not whales. Seals. I think seals are supposed to be like the puppies of the ocean or something like that. But
God, seals are awful.
Wait, what? What do you?
They're just like dolphins, brother.
Oh, really? I thought
seals were
fine.
Seals are not innocent, man. Seals are some nasty guys.
Hey, listen.
Like people embellish like sea lions, you know, like all those things out there, like dolphins, because they look cute. But if you really look up some facts about them and their mortality rate and their assault cases, like, dude, they number high.
That's the same thing with otters. Like,
I feel bad. Like,
yeah.
During the video where I talked about 1094, I like kind of hyped up the otters. I was like, yo, guys, like, if you haven't seen them, like, go check them out.
No, it's so sad.
Go to your local zoo, guys. Check out the sea otters. Show some support.
Because like the thing is like the dolphin stuff that you brought up, right? People knew about that. It just wasn't like mainstream information. Then like whatever, like what was the thing? Like Free Willy, all that bullshit, you know, not bullshit, but you know, those things come out. Now people are like, oh my god, dolphins are
Isn't
evil.
There one
and
called,
then
like black whale or something?
Something like that, right? So it's just awful timing because recently there was a comedian who went viral for saying that he like wants a pet otter, and then like that was concurrent with like a bunch of people looking up otter stuff, and then they found out otters are just menaces, like absolutely like fiendish, and now Oda has this guy as an otter, and me innocent Par is thinking Oshawott from Pokemon. I'm just thinking like a little blue dude with the takes the shell out of his thing and rolls around like a little ball. And then I go on TikTok because I said the word otter. Boom. Otters do some crazy ass shit. I'm like, come on, man. Oda's just trying to. Now he's gonna. This Vice Admiral's now a fiend. We gotta put him on
maybe
a
I
list.
like this Vice Admiral more now because I know he comes from the Fiend Nation.
No, the fiendishness is too much.
Yeah,
it's
so
too much.
This Vice Admiral, even though we don't, I kind of feel bad for him because we meet another Vice Admiral, Bluegrass, and she gets like the whole devil fruit description and everything. This guy shows up, no name. They don't tell you outright what his devil fruit is. Like he's just here. Like I kind of wish we had a name or like something that cements like, hey, this guy's a mythological sea otter.
I'm gonna go out. You know,
hey, it's Egghead Island. We're meeting all the Zoans, man.
I'm a man of theories. I'm a theorize real quick. There's no mythological otter. There's none.
No.
There's no mythological otter. Come on. There's mythological dogs of the water, and then they ended up becoming otters. But
there's a whole website dedicated to it.
No way. Otters. The Scottish. Who the? Oh my god. No way.
In Norse mythology.
No, the Otter Kings.
In Norse mythology, the mischievous god Loki killed the dwarf Otyr, who was always in the form of an otter. Oh, Loki? Wait, Elbaf, otter, otter? Oh, goodness gracious, Par. Time to whip out the vision.
No way.
Time to whip out the vision.
The otter is tied to the Loch Ness monster. People thought that the Loch Ness monster. No way. The mythological
otters are cracked.
No way. Listen to this. In Scottish tradition, there are tales of otter kings who are accompanied by 7 black otters. I don't know.
Maybe he's the leader of the other Vice Admirals then.
I don't even know. Like, maybe Shanks is an otter.
Oh, what's this?
He's the mythological Loch Ness monster.
Yeah, wait. I found the one you're talking about. There's actually a mythological otter, the king otter, a creature of Irish folklore, and it's named Dobahar Chu.
And it's tied to Norse mythology, Loki. No shot. See,
I knew crazy.
I knew it was a mythology around dog and water dogs.
Hey.
I didn't know that it was specifically, like, this is specific. This isn't just one. It's like we straight up.
All I gotta say, man, Lucci's awakened, Kaku's awakened, Luffy's awakened.
There's okay. Listen,
you know, we see something later this chapter.
Let's reel it back.
I think this guy's awakened. Dobahar Chu, Zoan, mythological. Give it to him. Come on, Oda.
Reel it back.
Come on.
Okay, we're reeling it back. I said this before. I said this in live reaction, was that Oda does this thing with these side characters, especially this one. Like, there's a reason he's gonna treat Doll very differently. I know for a fact he's gonna treat Doll very differently. And what I mean by that is when Oda goes so hard in the paint designing a character like this, like a side character, it feels like a filler character. He does this all the time with like filler characters. He gives them like a really, really cool design, really awesome fruit, but he knows that he's not going to use the fruit later on. But for example, the Mosu no Mi, that was from a movie that's basically Green Bull's fruit. So it's like it was a paramecia version of Green Bull's fruit,
right?
Yeah, and like the character doesn't look like super like Green Bull, but the point being is that there's a lot of times there's something connected, like those random things. There's like Oda's teasing something, you just have to figure out what it is, and you largely can't because Oda does so much of it. But I think, I'm not saying that the otter is important, but what I am saying is, because I was saying this about bluegrass, that's what I was actually saying. Like the ride fruit is crazy, and I was thinking that ride ability sounds like something that could exist, like Void Century, some kind of important thing. But now the otter thing, Norse mythology, fine. It's the Loch Ness monster one that's got me. The fact that it's actually been tied to the Loch Ness monster on 2 fronts is kind of wild. And the Loch Ness monster is literally like a mythological thing that like Oda would because that's a worldwide like phenomenon. Like people to this day, I don't know if you remember, like earlier this year, people were like, oh my god, we saw Nessie. That happened again this year. And like there was like high quality camera footage and shit, but like obviously it's like high quality, but it's not high quality.
Also, one last thing about the Otter King before we move on. Apparently, he's also known as the Irish crocodile. You know, all I gotta say is that I think if you put crocodile and his Irish counterpart here in the same room, I don't know who might walk out alive. The NDE.
Yeah. Oh my god, that thing was too crazy.
Near-death experience. How do you feel about that?
That one threw me through a loop. Honestly, this is another example of exactly what I was talking about. That like Bonney is a made-up character. And we know this. Oda made up the warlord, not the warlords, the worst gen, the supernovas, in like a day, a week, or whatever. He said this, like he didn't have them planned, and then the chapter before that they were revealed, he sat down at night and just crafted all of them. So what I mean by like Bonney doesn't matter is that it's Kuma that matters. Kuma is the most important thing, and Bonnie is just a catalyst towards Kuma. There could have been many versions of that. Oda chose Bonney. So along with that, similar to the Vice Admirals in a different way, I think Bonnie's power was just a way for Oda to demonstrate what evolution means. And so like this near-death experience thing, like now we're seeing like a Brook. Like we literally like what Brook experienced, right?
Yeah.
Except Brook had the death. He didn't have near death. He had death, and then he experienced the death. And he was like, wait, I'm not dead, and I can go back to my body. Whereas these people, they just hallucinated by it. But the thing is, they saw essentially the same things that like Brook and Zoro both talked about, right? They talked like it's weird. I don't know if OP Scans did this, but TCB translated the reference, the Sanzu River, which like I know about. I feel like that's more common knowledge than people think, but like the River Styx is obviously more common knowledge. Yeah. But like Zoro Alabasta said he was at the gates of like hell. I don't even maybe he directly said like he can hear like the river or something like that. I don't remember if it's him or it was Brook, but like Brook obviously, because he's just like a walking dead body. But what I'm curious about with this is like the fact that it's a hallucination, right? Like Bonnie's power is just so bloated, and I just feel like because this happens now, I don't think Bonnie's gonna play a larger role in the story.
What?
Because like this disability, like how do you stop that? What do you do? This is just like insane, right? And what is she shooting it?
It's like a water gun, yeah.
Yeah, like what is that? That's so random. So the point that I'm bringing up is that I'm saying that like Oda, like Bonnie being able to do this and shoot this, it's like so forced that I feel like Oda just wanted to show us that this is something that's possible through like an evolution thing, right? So what Oda's gonna do is he's gonna show us all the abilities and then finally give us the name of the fruit, because we still don't have the name of the fruit. Once we get the name of the fruit, then we'll be able to contextualize what this means, because now after Egghead, it'll be the whole like, oh, devil fruits are the catalyst towards dreams and the next dimension. And so Bonnie's power, whether it's like a real fruit or not, like we don't even know that much. Like some people have theories that it's not even like it's all artificial because of the way Bonnie is. We don't even know if Bonnie's an adult. It's a weird thing seeing this. I remember in the live reaction, I was like, this is weird. It's cool. It's weird. It's fun. I could be wrong, but I just feel like her power entirely is just a way for Oda to teach us.
For the casual story.
Yeah, I think Oda's just using it to teach us something about like evolution. Like it's at this point, it's 90% the evolution fruit or some shit like that, right? Or the timeline. It's gonna be like the timeline fruit, right?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Yeah, like it's not that hard to figure out. It's just Oda's gonna package all of her abilities into that, and then it's gonna be paired with a conversation from Vegapunk talking about devil fruits again, because we still don't have that full conversation. We had like a tidbit, and it might actually be from Saturn. It might not even be from Vegapunk. It might be between Vegapunk and Saturn, and Bonnie's with them both right now. So hey, it's just that's just a thought. It's just a thought that ran through my head during the live reaction.
I think because of this ability, I mean, not because of this ability, but just Bonnie in general, like her ability as a whole, I feel like she's going to play a very pivotal role here on Egghead Island. That it centers around this ability.
Okay, so asterisk, when I say that, like, I mean like overall story. If it's arc-centric, then it's like York. Like, you know what I mean? For a long time, people thought, like, yeah, York could be, like, this insane villain, right? And prior to the reveal that York was the thing, and then after the fact, we thought the traitor was going to be a big deal. We didn't know if the traitor was going to be, like, an arc-centric thing or a story-centric thing. Turns out it's an arc. It's not even an arc-centric thing. It's, like, so behind, like, everything York has done, meaningless. You know what I mean? So again, that's why, like, what you're saying is like the pivotal role on Egghead, I think, is just like a meaningful point. Like it's not gonna, the overall story does, like, Oda could have achieved the same thing without that. It's just like a way for him to show us something about evolution, which he's doing here. Like, this is Brook's ability, and then when she aged up Luffy, is that not what happens when Luffy goes like out of his limit in Gear 5? Like, maybe that's what Oda is trying to show us there, right? The jewels. You know what I was thinking about? When Luffy punched Kizaru, like, the stars came out of him. And I'm like, I wonder if that's related to like Bonnie's jewels things.
Yeah, like he's knocking out Kizaru's memories.
Yeah, who
experience?
I don't know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think her power is just like, you see it, tie it to something else, move on. You know?
Yeah.
But it was cool. I did like this though.
I think there is a chance where Bonnie. This is gonna sound ridiculous, but I wonder how, like, depending on what her devil fruit actually is, if she really can go into different timelines. I wonder if the Straw Hats do get wiped here to some extent, and then Bonnie can like take us to a different timeline where we don't get wiped.
She'd have to sacrifice herself. You know, that'd be sick.
It would be sick, but I don't know how many people would like that though, because you know, timeline stuff is always very finicky. It's very fragile. People don't like that.
You're right. I think it's sick because for an awful reason, honestly. I think it's sick because it would parallel Kuma's sacrifice.
Yeah.
So then Bonnie doing the same kind of sacrifice for the sake of others, that'd be kind of sick. But you're right.
She's like, I have no reason to live. My dad's already dead.
But then there you go, right? Like, if it's that timeline thing, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, sure. She did the timeline thing. Could Oda have written the story a different way where we didn't need a timeline jump? Yeah. But that timeline thing is just an important thing. It's like it's gonna be that pivotal thing sounds like massive, but it's hard to explain. I hope we don't get a timeline thing. That would be crazy.
Oh yeah, I hope that doesn't happen either. But it's there though. The possibility exists.
I think the most it could be actually at the end of this chapter, right? Because she's kind of like touching. He hasn't awakened or hasn't surfaced in 800 years ish, right? Like, if there's any time for Bonnie to do something, it's next chapter at the beginning, right? That's probably the pivotal moment. But again, I don't know how like, we both said this, like, I don't think that whatever she does to Saturn here is gonna like ruin Saturn, right?
Yeah, by the end of the chapter when Bonnie does like stab him, I don't think we're gonna cut to the next chapter and Saturn's like lying on the floor like, oh, this is my debut and I'm dead.
Like the most I could see is like she turns him young or something, and then he's stronger. You know what I mean? Or she thinks that he like she'll do like a near death thing. She'll do that to him. She'll like kill him to buy everybody time. That makes him stronger. Like that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. Like, I just don't see what she does to Saturn as a way to debilitate him. I think it's right now Saturn's being built up as like this insanely oppressive force that we can't understand just yet. Clearly by the magic circle, but we haven't gotten to the magic circle yet. So
no, we barely got into the chapter actually.
Yeah,
we still haven't talked about our favorite Vice Admiral Bluegrass.
Oh my god!
Whoa, why do you not like Bluegrass?
What was Bluegrass? What was the
country music
from that? Oh really?
Yeah.
Is that what you said on my stream?
Country music. Yeah.
Oh, that's 100. Yeah. There's
bluegrass country
crazy.
Music and cowboys writing stuff. Yeah.
There's no way on your channel did you not make the reference you said on my stream?
What reference?
All right, I heard enough. You blasphemous monster!
What?
You came
what
there
reference?
guns blazing with that one. I pulled back on that reference.
What reference?
Don't worry about it.
Huh?
Don't worry about it.
Hard. Eventually, we need to stage like an intervention, man. I don't know.
It's recorded. It's recorded.
Guys, I've been cooking up a brilliant idea. I told Brago this too, and I've been telling all the other content creators.
When did you get the time to tell Brago?
I told Brago last night.
Oh my god.
But dude, okay, so guys, if any of you ever wants to become a YouTuber, hear me out.
Subscribe to my channel, get all my theories that I didn't upload.
Yeah, here's what you want to do. If you want to be a One Piece YouTuber, you should create a channel named Steel D Theory. You know, like Steel D Theory, the D thing. It's funny.
Did Brago help you with that one?
No, that's what I said yesterday too.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, Steel D Theory, man. Make an account called Steel D Theory and go around to all of the One Piece YouTubers, go to their channels, and steal their most popular theory. Download their video, and what you want to do is you can use their editing. Like, just use their editing, put it on the corner or something, and then have you voice over what they say, Just go on YouTube, go into the page source, get all the subtitles, download the subtitles, read it like a script, and then what you want to do is that you want to just wear a ski mask and then claim this theory as your own and steal it with pride. If anybody calls you out, be like, of course I'm stealing it, and I'm gonna steal more theories. Hit every YouTuber. It is such a great idea. It's a money machine. If I had more time, I would do it. I'd become Steel D Theory. I think that is such a beautiful idea.
You know what's so funny? I just demonstrated the ability live for everybody.
Yeah, I saw that.
Side.
You tapped in, and it looked good. All right, so back to the chapter though. Bluegrass, she can. So it's crazy. So Bluegrass shows up, and she's riding Bonnie's dad, and Bonnie can't do anything about this. She is in shock. Right? You just open the door, boom, dad and Grandma Bluegrass.
Are you serious?
And we need
all that gaslighting just to drop the charade immediately. Like,
what are you talking about?
What do you mean? Fine. Yup. Bluegrass. Grandma riding Bonnie's dad.
Oh my god.
What do you mean? Oh my god.
That's nasty, dude. What the heck? You are wild, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh wow. Don't make any theories for 2 months and you come back and this is the first thing you cook.
Bro, it's
first the snow, comparing it to like super glue.
I feel like a
sitgo. Now we have part talking about blue. Oh man, you are on one today, huh?
Literally a Shell station, Sitgo, whatever gas station we're at right now. That's what channel we're on right now. That's a sick channel name, actually. Gas station.
Well, speaking of gas, we have the Sea Otter Vice Admiral coming back with a Shell Corporation.
That was
sorry, I had to hit that one on the nose. So Shell is also a gas station company. And all I gotta say is that Sanji actually runs from both these Vice Admirals. Sanji and
God.
Bonney. We got a member of the Worst Generation. And let me tell you, a Worst Generation member actually took down Kaido and Big Mom. And now the same Worst Generation is running away from two Vice Admirals. And Sanji is also running. Like what does this say to you, Par? Power scaling wise, if we want to remove the context of the situation, take this out of bounds, can you say that Sanji and Bonney stood no chance against these guys?
The line that I'm assuming people probably got is, for now, let's just get out of here. That, to me, that's not, we have to run because, whatever. It's just like, hey, right now, we just shouldn't be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think they need another 2-year time skip to fight these guys.
Oh yeah, that's exactly 100%.
Hit the nail on the head.
You know what I mean?
Do you agree with that?
The one thing that I will agree with is there's something odd here, because Sanji is not this fumbling buffoon who can't just outrun these dudes. You know what I mean? He literally at the beginning of this chapter was like, this tank is too slow for me. He goes light speed, finds her, picks her up, and all of a sudden he gets the Kobe syndrome. All of a sudden, ball and chain gagged up, he can't do anything because Kobe can blow a whole island's fist out of the ozone layer, you know what I mean? But he can't lift a ball and chain. He can punch battleship bags, can't lift a ball and chain. Apparently Sanji has the same. Apparently Bonney weighs 50 tons. Bonney is the fattest ass in the game right now. And for some reason Sanji in this chapter said, yo, this shit is too slow for me. And he hears Vegapunk hop in.
I think it's kind of crazy.
And then Vegapunk's like, and then Sanji's like, good idea.
You're not just going with the most simple answer of saying that these Vice Admirals are just that fast.
Yeah, yo, that's so let's go on the slower rolling cloud sticky machine. Let's do that one. Cause they can't keep up with that, even though we just saw Sanji fly at light speed away from it. He literally turned into Sonic compared to this thing, and then just like, and then they're like, but like the Vegapunk here, Bonney, Sanji, hop in, and I'm like, hop into what? The wheelchair? Like, what is happening here? Like, this thing is supposed to be really slow. Sanji just said it was super slow.
But they have to use the clouds to go back up to the Labo phase. Like, it's a whole thing.
Because at that rate, because Sanji could kick it up there faster. You just kick it.
Yeah,
just
but
kick it. He
everybody
did
would
that before.
die.
No, he kicked Beige's. He kicked what Beige's entire ship, or was it the cake? And the cake was intact. If you're telling me he can do that from an island,
But now we're talking about like post Whole Cake Island, post Wano Sanji. This guy's crazy. Okay, so so you think that Sanji wouldn't be able to beat the Vice Admirals? I think he could. If Sanji was put in a room with these two Vice Admirals, like 7 minutes in heaven with the Grandma Bluegrass, Sanji would come out on top. And Sanji would beat all of them. And I don't think that should be a hot take. What's up?
Question. Since we're having crazy takes here, can
Sanji winning is a crazy take?
Sanji cybernetic, Kuma cybernetic. Can Bluegrass ride Sanji? Hit me with it.
I think Bluegrass can ride anybody that she can overpower with her will. I mean, obviously, Sanji Haki, I feel like he would just pull a law and be like, hey, like, get off me, you're not controlling. Like, same with Luffy, right? Like, Sun God Nika. Like, I feel like if Bluegrass were to hop onto any guy, she could control them. But Luffy, for example, Sanji's, like, the Straw Hats, I don't really think that she could do it.
So if let's... Crazy idea. Sengoku conquers.
Okay.
Garp conquers.
Yep.
Suru, the third person. When you got 2 out of 3, conquers. Let's just throw it out there.
So you're asking me if Bluegrass has conquers Haki.
Or, flip side, if Suru had the ride fruit, Suru would be cracked. She could ride anything. Doflamingo, Zunisha.
Yeah.
The red line.
I'd say there's a possibility. Or... I had a really crazy theory that Bluegrass is the one who moved the poneglyph on Fishman Island. I think I told you this one, right?
Yeah, you said that one. I was like...
because it's a SpongeBob reference in how he was riding the rock underwater. Like, hey, maybe Bluegrass was down there and she just, pulled a little SpongeBob and...
She's the man, my friends. It was the brother. Oh, I said the brother. The brother's Redgrass. The man, he's the guy in the fucking...
She has a brother named Redgrass and he's marked by flames. Yeah, you never know, man. All right, we got one more mini segment. We got Luffy versus Kizaru. I'm going to call it what it is. I think it's a little bit of a sideshow. Yeah. At first, when we were introduced to this matchup, I was like, yo, like, this is going to be crazy. But this chapter, and even, like, the last couple of chapters, the fight has been, I wouldn't say lackluster, but it's very apparent that they both just want to get done with their mission. Like, Luffy wants to get out of here and stall Kizaru. Kizaru wants to get out of here and kill Vegapunk. Like, they're not focusing on each other that much.
Yeah.
Like, their goal isn't to beat each other, and I feel like it's made very apparent by, like, their dialogue, how their fight ends. Like, I don't know. Because I see people, like, power scaling, and that's fine, right? Like, Kizaru did, like, go down after one hit. He's going to get back up, though, right? Kizaru's going to get back up. Luffy's going to get back up. It's not over, but I do think that's the end of their, like, clashing for now, though, for sure. How do you interpret this?
No, I agree. I was taken aback a little bit in the progression of the chapter because at the start of the chapter, we had the authority chips, the Saint Saturn thing. Figured Saint Saturn would show up to counter the orders, right? And it was funny because a long time ago, I was saying, like, does he just shout from the ship and then he gets the thing? And essentially that's what happened here. He just, like, shouted and then this, stuff happened. But what's interesting about the way Oda did this too was he used all the strongest characters on the island, and I'm saying that knowing that Sanji is not technically included in his lineup, but Kizaru, Luffy, Zoro, and Lucci, they're all reacting. These are the strongest people. They're all having their, like, throat to throat, cutthroat battle, right? And then Jinbei, which I think is really important because Jinbei has, like, been tied to all of the strongest characters to the point where the last time he did this was with Shanks, essentially. When Shanks conquers Haki'd Ryokugu, he was like, this is impressive, conquers Haki. And in this moment, he's not even in awe or like I guess approval, happiness, whatever. He's like, what is this ominous presence? And this is a man who stood 1v1 against Big Mom like multiple times, and despite Big Mom supposedly having the ominous presence, like this is a guy who like raided Kaido with Luffy and just fully trusted Luffy. Didn't even go to the rooftop, by the way, like because that presence was.
He's also the guy who beat Charlotte Opera too.
Fair, exactly. You know, Solo. That's a fruit that's really important, honestly. Similar to the Vegapunk. We're talking about, you know, subsistence. There's one right there. And so like this is insane that Oda did that with like he took this thing, right? So many people were looking at Luffy, Kizaru. This is the fight of Egghead. Oh my god, we're getting the parallel of Sabaody. Very quickly sideshowed. Very quickly. In the span of like 2 panels, you know? And we were getting that feeling. We figured like, oh, like this fight's gonna get cut short. You know, Saint Saturn revealing the way he did wasn't exactly like it was insane, but it fell into the same line of context we've been talking about, where it's like something is gonna stop them from fighting. Clearly, this ominous presence is gonna be that thing, and now this ominous presence is so oppressive that literally not a single person on this island can ignore it.
Here's a good one. And I think this is kind of slanderous that you don't mention this character in the lineup. But Dahl and the Vice Admiral both also noticed the ominous presence.
Okay, see, first of all, the reason why I didn't mention it is because this random-ass dude is on the front. And then Dahl's in the back. And it's like Dahl's just being a doll.
Because this is Oda portraying that this guy is stronger than Dahl. It's obvious. It's clear as day. It's, you know, like when you pose up the Straw Hats in a row, Luffy, like, he is center stage, right?
Uh-huh.
I think it's the same thing for this Vice Admiral.
Well, in that scope, then you could say that Nami, Usopp, and Chopper are as strong as Zoro and Luffy because they're center stage.
Well, you read mangas going to the left. So if you really think about it, Kizaru, then Luffy, then Zoro, then Lucci, Jinbei, and then you got those bozos who, I mean, you know. Uh-huh. Do you think they even noticed the presence? I feel like Usopp did.
So wait, hold on. We went to those bozos, and then don't we progress to what's below bozo?
You know, you know what I like to say? I like to say we saved the best for last. We saved the best for last.
You know who's last? Saturn's last. That's who's last if you kept reading.
No. These guys are last because obviously Saturn's the presence. Why would he react to himself?
I just want to point out to everyone listening, there was like 3 code switches left in there. You went from center stage to read left and right to best for last, all that shit.
Just to hype up these no-name characters? Just to hype up this guy that looks like Oars?
Yeah, like if I kept your center stage bullshit thing, then this fucking ball statue at the top of Egghead is as important as this dude. I've never even seen that.
You're talking about Punk Records?
No, not Punk Records. That little ball thing, like the random thing with the star on it. Like that thing is so cool.
What random
now
thing
I look
with
at
the star
it,
on it?
Like right underneath that. What do you call this Vice Admiral? You made a name for him, right?
This guy?
This guy should have been the otter. Can we be?
I call him Little Oars Jr.
Oh, that's a good name. Keep that one. That one. This is Little Oars Jr. the 4th. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, he has the teeth, man.
Yo, he looks like You know what? You're right. He looks like Vars from Skypiea, chapter 244.
Hey,
242.
I'm down with it, man. Something interesting with this guy's going on. But the reason I bring him up, you know, jokes aside, is that I find his weapon choice really interesting. Because, dude, we had a guy with a seashell, we had the ride fruit, and now we have like this weird like cheerleader wand baton thing going on.
You're
and
right.
The reason this is interesting is because I don't know if you remember when he was first introduced, he actually was the only Vice Admiral with a sword. He had a katana.
Hmm.
So it's like, where'd the katana go? Like what is this?
All right, I'll give it to you. That is interesting.
Yeah, right. Like and it's center stage. Like I don't want to meme on that too hard, but like you could tell Oda's making it a point to show you like, hey, this guy has like a fluffy ball thing.
No, yeah, because that's exactly what I was saying before with like the bluegrass, and there's like one thing about those characters that Oda designed into them that, yeah, sure, they're really cool, right? And like if you pick apart something, you'll get it right? But you have to pick apart the right thing. This one is like Oda's kind of telling you, it's like the thing to focus on. If there's something important about this guy, it's his staff, katana, pom-pom looking thing. But I think the reason why once you point that out, the Oars Jr., and then I saw the Vars connection, now I'm a little bit more interested. I didn't even see that before, to be completely honest. Memes aside, I think there might actually be something to that. I don't know what. Again, it could be that pom pom thing, but I'm more interested on his appearance.
And we can't say that these these background filler Vice Admirals don't have interesting abilities, because the last time we met a bunch of individuals who were filler-esque that are actually in the story was at Enies Lobby, where like the Straw Hats had to fight like 100 captains. They just started flying out of their ships, and we had like the berry fruit, which was pretty cool. We also had the rust fruit, which I think is still really broken. I mean, that's the guy who destroyed Zoro's swords at Enies Lobby.
The Yubashiri.
Yeah, like, I don't know, man. Some of these, like, random abilities sometimes do have big payoffs later on in the most unexpected ways.
So the rust thing.
Yeah.
That is literally the perfect example of what I'm talking about. When earlier I was trying to contextualize what I meant by, like, it's a forced ability because Oda wants to do something very specific. And he could have done that same thing, but like the rust ability, right? I want to destroy Zoro's sword. What do I do? Rust ability. I'm not saying it's like that people are going to...
No, I agree. Because like Kaku could have done that.
Yeah, like there's so many different ways to get the same thing, and it's so easy. Just put a perfect devil fruit, perfect character, throw him in there. That's what most of these Vice Admirals are going to be. I think I'm not going to be wrong in saying this. I think Doll is going to be the primary exception. Maybe Doberman's here, right?
Yeah,
the other guy was Doberman. Yeah, so like those are the two Vice Admirals that are probably going to be like not shown. They're going to be shown in a different capacity than these two, and that would imply that Doll and Doberman have a future, not important role, but continued relevance as far as like Garp, Kobe, Sword, like that kind of a thing. But the rest of them are literally just berry, rust fruit, that kind of a purpose. Arc-centric, very specific, or to show you something. And now, honestly, of all the three that we got here, I'm looking at this guy, Little Oars Jr. the Fourth.
So
this guy's cool.
If you had to pick one Vice Admiral to get special shine in this arc, who would you want it to go to? I'd pick Doberman, just because he's an OG.
The thing with Doberman's the one who went to Boa, right?
No.
Was that Doberman, or was that No, not Strawberry.
Are you thinking about like for Marineford?
No, the one who stabbed himself. Was that Doberman?
No, that's not Doberman.
That was Maynard. Maynard?
No, that is not Maynard. Okay,
now
you're throwing out so many names.
Wait, no. Come on,
you're
those
throwing
are
out
the main
so
ones.
many names. No.
Dude, it was two.
No. Like, but you're confusing me now because I had the name like ready to go.
I thought you were saying. I was like, come on,
Momonga. He's the one.
I was close. What did I say? Doberman.
You said Doberman, and then you said Maynard, and you said Strawberry.
It was. Come on.
Yeah, if I gave you 15 more guesses, you would have got him. You know what,
There's too many Vice Admirals.
You know what, Far? You know what? You're right. If I gave you 100 tries, I think you would have got it.
Yeah, listen. We added 9 more to the mix.
Luffy.
Like,
no, it wasn't Luffy.
We don't even have these
was
names.
it Zoro who went? No, it wasn't Zoro.
No, they're not. You can't say.
I'm strawmanning you so hard, Par.
Just be like,
was it Natsu? No, that's Fairy Tail.
This is the same as forgetting the main characters of this.
There we go.
Oh my god.
It's the guy from Kagurabachi, Chihiro.
Yeah. Yeah. Doberman.
So you pick
Vice
Doberman
Admiral,
too, or no?
No. Vice Admiral to focus on. I think I would want it to be Doll, but the thing about betting on side character women in One Piece is you're often going to lose. Hey, even main character women in One Piece.
Tashigi 2.0, dude.
Yeah, like unless it's Boa, it's out. Like even Big Mom didn't survive the allegations. You know what I mean? Like none of the female, even the smart Vegapunk.
Smoothie, bro. Remember Smoothie? Smoothie didn't even fight anybody, bro. She was she got. Oh man, she went to Wano. I was excited. I was like, yo, Smoothie's finally gonna do something. That's crazy. And then she's just like spinning around the ocean for like a couple of days or something. I don't know.
Smoothie's most important role wasn't even defending the poneglyphs. It was wringing out a giraffe.
Yeah, for the foreshadow.
Yeah, for Stussy to drink a giraffe juice. Because that's Egghead. Like that was the most important thing. And it's I don't want to slander it. It's just a tiresome subject. I wish it was more like, like we've talked about it, JJK, like they do much better from what I know, for portrayal of like all characters rather than like certain subsection. But that being said, betting on Doll, losing bet, I want to I'm putting, actually, you know what?
No way you're putting stock in Little Oars Jr.
Little Oars Jr. He's getting some love from me right now,
wow.
Dude. His appearance is
liking
cracked.
a Vice Admiral. That's kind of, you know what? I'm glad I can converse you, but it's kind of strange.
The thing that got me is literally he looks. It's Oars Jr. Sure, but
and the hat too, man. Like, come on.
It's 244. Yep, 244. It's like we need to figure out who this is, and it's a character with the same teeth, with a thing, Varse. Like we don't know where that thing comes from. Any character that is related to that going to be important, guaranteed.
He also looks like the what is it? He also looks like the little like totem statues on Reverse Mountain too that they pass by. I love Reverse Mountain because I thought that was such a cool concept that made no sense. That was the first time where I was like watching One Piece and I was like, wow, this is dumb. But I like it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, hey, like what the heck? But I vibe with it. Yeah. It's like, all right, cool.
That's when it began.
Yeah. But anyways, going on though, Saturn, he says, hey, pacifistas, cease all action immediately. They all stop. And that is when we see a magic circle appear on the ground.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Crazy.
Magic circles in One Piece. This is something that I would write in. I'm just a big fan of satanic rituals.
You are.
And
it even has like a 5 or an S.
Yeah.
So to say.
Yeah, he's repping me over here. I was so happy. You know how like they say like marginalized communities, they never get represented in media? This is me right here. I feel like I'm actually being represented for once.
No way you just said that.
Like this is me, bro. I enjoy everything One Piece does, but not at one point do I like read it and I'm like, wow, I like that. Like that's something I would do myself. But I see this little ritual going on. I see this crazy design. I'm like, yo, like I love this.
Sai's deadass about to move the chair and there's been a magic summoning circle behind the chair the entire time.
Yeah, you see like fire pop up behind me, black lightning. Blood starts raining down from my ceiling. It's like, what's going on here?
Like, it's just been out of view this entire time.
No, I
like,
think this is super cool, man.
You should do that next video. Just get one down there, and then like in the video, just accidentally slide your chair, just like peer it over a little bit so they can see in the back. It'd be funny. Whew.
We got a magic circle. Saturn comes out of it, and do you want to dissect the circle for a minute? Like, what do you think about it? How does it make you feel?
Listen,
are you scared?
The circle immediately broke. It's funny. So if you guys, the reveal later on that we get, we'll talk about in a second. I went on a whole tirade about that on my stream because this is something we'll get to it in a bit. But this specific part in this script that like I'm editing right now, I literally wrote a line that said I was talking about the time skip islands, and I was saying like, oh, Brooke, I think I have it up right now because I read it to you earlier. Might as well just pull it up. It was like, Zoro is sent to Mihawk, Sanji is sent to Ivankov. Like, all these characters are super connected to all these important things. Then you have like Nami sent to the weather stuff, so all of them are intrinsically valuable. Then Brook was summoned by a demon magic circle. That was probably mostly for comedy. That's literally written into the thing, and I'm just like, I'm just baffled.
Now
that
0 for 1.
Yeah, I'm baffled because this is probably next to the Grim Reaper that Zoro saw. This is the most One Piece panel next to that Grim Reaper thing.
Yeah.
This is probably more. The only difference is the Grim Reaper was first, because when Brook got summoned by that thing, it was a meme. Kuma shot him there, and then they were like, oh,
Satan
circle, yeah, it's here, and then it was like, fine, time skip, random places, random people, don't matter. Turns out it does. Turns out it could be really meaningful. It could be that those people were trying to summon the Gorosei, because if you guys don't remember, those people are long leg tribe people. And they were having a war with the long arm tribe people for how long? 1,000 years, predating the Void Century. This is known information. Long leg people summoning. I don't know if you guys remember or if you guys know what happens next, but there's a very, very long legged 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 long legs to count them coming out of this circle later on. Not 5, 8. So. Hey, if long leg people are trying to summon a demon Satan monster, maybe they called the wrong number, you know? And so the other part of this that we can finally bring up now, besides the Brook thing, that I think that this is meaningful. I went more in the live stream. It's just an idea at the moment that like this circle is meaningful to a certain extent. We don't know if all the Gorosei can use this. How the Gorosei like enacts this. Is this something that everybody can do? You know how I'll be honest with you. I'll be upset. Like, if the Holy Knights probably can do this. I think the Holy Knights will. Yeah, Holy Knights can probably do this. That goes along with the Holy Knights theory that still haven't posted, but you know about. But the I would be upset if Shanks could do this. I think that's where I draw the line. Even though he's like so tangential to like the Celestial Dragons, the Holy Knights,
I would be a little upset. Do this.
Yeah, and Mihawk. If those two can do these things, I'd be upset. You'd be happy?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be happy.
What reason would I have to be upset if Shanks and Mihawk could do something like this? Mihawk is kind of a crazy one because we don't know if he's a Celestial yet. I kind of think he might be, or at least have some tie to it. I think he believes in that. But, you know, dial back Mihawk, just Shanks. Why would you be upset if Shanks could do this?
It would just be weird, like...
if this is like a Celestial Dragon power-up.
A Celestial Dragon... Okay, if it's a Celestial Dragon only thing and he can use it with Celestial Dragon blood, it's like annoying, but it's also fine. But then it's like, oh, then Luffy's gonna get it and he's somehow Celestial Dragon through his mom's side. Like, if like there's a section off power in Shonen, it's always a thing to give it to a main character, right? At that point, it's either Luffy or Usopp in my mind who would get it, or Zoro. But Zoro, in no way Zoro gets it, even though we talked about. Yeah, that'd be so weird. It would have to be. I
think it's also
Usopp.
weird if Luffy gets something like this.
Right.
Because like so Joy Boy, Nika, he's kind of like the opposite of all of this.
That's what I'm saying, and I think like I just feel weird if like Shanks is like, oh, you're gonna be the Pirate King. Like Roger, a Whitebeard, they were these strong ass dudes, and then Shanks is like on their tier supposedly. People have him number 1. At no point, like Roger, Whitebeard, any of the strong people ever even talked about this. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what Kaido. You know what I mean? Like that Kaido's talking about. People say it's his top 5. He never said it was his top 5. That's a headcanon fan theory version of what he said. But to a certain extent, if Kaido or the Rocks Pirates were at God Valley, this is there. It wouldn't make sense if this wasn't there. Like, if Garland was there and he can't use this, that's weirder to me. So then it's like, how many people can use this?
What if we say that Garland beat Rocks and all of them without this even?
That would be...
Because that could be a thing too.
That could be a thing. You're right. That could be a thing. I'd be fine with that. The only question then is then what is the purpose of this? Because we talked about this on the live stream too. It's like this man used like a crazy nth tier ability that never showed up in the series before to do something that he should be able to do physically, right? Like Shanks could just fly here instantly from the ship to this spot. Boom.
Oh, you're gonna bring this up again.
Wait, what do you mean?
About how he like teleported over here when he could have just walked?
Yeah, that like he could have just jumped. He could have just like is he not
I don't agree with that.
physically strong?
This is an intro. This is an intro. Like,
so, I get that, okay. but what I'm saying is like, is it an intro for the sake of an intro, or is this circle going to be more meaningful? And that's where I'm like, I don't know if I want. Yeah, I don't know if I want that circle to be that meaningful or for that widely accessible, or like even for the Straw Hats to be like neat. They don't even know about hockey or devil. They don't know about devil. They don't even know what Luffy is. You know what I mean? And now you're telling me they also need to know about magic circles? Hey, this Navy dude is like a magic circle. Apparently the Navy knows about magic circles. That's cool. Fine, whatever, right? But then here's the thing, right? And this is where you had pushback, right? Chapter 233. You were saying that like they're very different magic circles, or they're very different circles, right?
Yeah,
that's what you're saying. So if you guys go to chapter 233, if you haven't already, that's when the Gorosei are introduced. That's the same panel that Threevil was able to, with the information that Saturn. Saint Saturn was Saturn and Luffy was Sun God. He was able to figure out all the other Gorosei's planets from that panel. If it's coincidence, craziest coincidence that Oda put that much detail that someone was able to pinpoint exactly what it is with like normal logic, but also like that's crazy that Oda would do that. And you gotta wonder, it's like, if this is the Gorosei's introduction, you would imagine just like the Gorosei is getting introduced right now, and you're saying the magic circles for the buildup of the introduction, Oda would 100% introduce the Gorosei with as much info stacked in there. And hey, what's crazy is the Gorosei is getting introduced with this power with a magic circle, and behind the Gorosei getting introduced in chapter 233, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 magic circles. Not 1, not 2, and they're not even like normally drawn. 2 of them are like floating. They're not even like transposed on the wall. They're like up there. And I know what you're saying. You're saying those are very different than the circles we see now, right? And I don't disagree with that. But what this kind of conversation goes back to, like, you know, some people talk about like, why didn't Shanks have black lightning in chapter 1 if he's using Conqueror's Haki? Clearly Oda doesn't know that was a made up ability. You know what I mean? It's like, no, he had Conqueror's Haki there. It's just that it was a developing thing. It's not crazy to think that after 1,000 chapters, Oda's just like, hey, I want to demonstrate this after 25 years. This is how I want hockey to look like, right? I think in the same way, there's many, many things in One Piece, especially the most important stuff, like the Gorosei, that were probably slated out very early on, that Oda had like concepts, and then now he has a fuller design. And the pin that I put in was the monsters thing, right? In Monsters, Ryuma fights a Western dragon. Oda's redoing Monsters to make it relevant now. And what does he do? He changes that Western dragon to an Eastern dragon. Why? Because it makes more sense now. Because he chose an Eastern dragon. Maybe if Oda went with the 5-year story that he originally wanted, Kaido would be a Western dragon. Like, who knows? It's that Oda's style. Oda decided, like, no, I want to go this way. I want to do this design. It's the same thing. It's a dragon. Dragon's a dragon. Just an Eastern dragon. Magic circle, magic circle. Is it a different circle? Did Oda go like, hey, I don't need to be this like in depth. One, this is really hard to draw. This is so in depth. I'm just going to draw a star with 5 on it. You know, like that's literally what I think. I feel like Oda realized like making it so complex like he did back then isn't even meaningful. Did he have all that meaning in there? Probably not. What did he do? He probably looked up he probably went to the library, magic circle. This is probably the first thing that came up, because you know what happened? I went on Twitter after the thing. First thing that comes up, people type in magic circle, they found this. I Google it, same thing. And I'm like, all right, so this is just the easiest magic circle to find. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, I think Oda did have this stuff planned out. Like, I think even the Ushi Oni reveal, that thing, I think is planned out.
And
that
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I just pushed back on the notion that Oda had everything like to a T figured out. Because people make that point online. They're like, hey, like look at 233. Like Oda's a madman. Like he was like you could say this was foreshadowing because it's like the circle. Yeah, like obviously why would he put circles up in that room? He probably had a transformation or demonic transformation ready to go. But it is a different circle than what we have today. So people who are saying it's 1-to-1, I hate that.
Yeah, but the more I think you can agree with this one is that Oda did have magic on his brain from the very beginning, given that the pilot had a magician and not a devil fruit. It didn't have Buggy, it had a magician, and that was a pilot. So like Oda had it, and then he like you made a video about it saying like, oh, I'm glad Oda went the way he went, right? Like with all the devil fruits and the hockey. And all that stuff, right?
I said that just because I don't like his design. I was cool with the magic.
Fair enough.
The magicians were ugly.
Fair enough. Yeah, the Spiel is not the best looking character, but now it makes sense because it feels like Oda put all of this thing into one character. That being said, I think like the transformation for the Gorosei, he had that figured out. I think the difference is the importance of those circles. I think if see the earlier on we were talking about how, hey, we're going on a track on a 30-year story. Originally maybe it's 5 years. Those circles are a way to expedite the story. That's essentially what that is. Because it's like you have all these things to explain. The moment you introduce that, boom, new power system. That's what that is. If Oda ever wanted to expedite the story, he just brings that in. I think that's essentially what that was, and he brought it in now. And now he doesn't need to like stretch it out or speed things up. And the thing is, even now, it feels like, whoa, where the fuck did these circles come from, right? But that's why those circles are there. It's because if whenever Oda wanted to, he could have just, boom, expedite story, magic's here now. Done. And then he solidified that even more, in my opinion, with the Brook time skip thing now. Because the context, like Oda put some random long leg tribe summoning demons, and then the demon that we see, the first one being summoned by it, is a long leg monster. I don't know, that's just kind of like on the nose a little bit, you know? It's a little too on the nose. It's on the leg. It's on the long leg even, I would say. So that's where I'm at. But I agree with you for the most part that it's like 1-to-1 is crazy, but I think like you've read the interviews in SBS's. Oda writes like he has a skeleton, a framework, and he works around he ad-libs. Yeah, he ad-libs. Like we just brought up the supernovas. They were made up in a day.
My thing is, here's a good one though. We kind of skipped over this. But do you think this is a devil fruit, or do you think it's a genuine transformation? Because that is a heavily debated topic. I've seen people going crazy in the community, like even like creators going after each other for saying it's anything other than a devil fruit and vice versa. It's a bloodbath out there.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I've been on the boat that they're not devil fruit. Like they're the original. Like if Nika were to have survived, they're the original. And that's basically I think pretty much in every collab, every video, every stream, I've been consistent on the idea that like I don't think that they're devil fruits, but they might manifest their powers in the same way as a devil fruit. It's just that like they're the originals. So like if Nika never died and Nika still existed, and Nika was here, that's what the Gorosei guy is, right? Like that's where my brain is at. I'm not ruling out the devil fruit thing. It's possible, man. We just got a magic circle in here. The whether it's a devil fruit or not is not even the crazier part of the discussion here. The crazier part is what the hell else can this circle do? You know what I mean? Like, if people are stuck on whether it's a devil fruit or not, like, I'm like, it could be either. It doesn't really matter, right? Like,
yeah,
like, because they're in my mind. Well, okay, to be fair, I guess a lot of people who are hard set on it is a devil fruit aren't probably aware that there's Oda started out the story very strongly. Baroque works, many characters, no devil fruit powers, none. And they just had to crack. Even the one with the magic circle ability, the one that could draw circles with paint, Miss Golden Week, one of the craziest characters in my opinion, because she solo broke Crocodile out of prison, had him see their dream of being a pirate king in a cover story, sure, but via drawing magic circles that even made Luffy betray his own crew. No devil fruit. Django, no devil fruit. So many characters, I talked about them, devil seed users. So like, I guess for people who think that like, oh, they have to have a devil fruit, aren't like aware that like there's a lot of characters in One Piece. The Oniwa Banshu, all on Wano. Man, those guys had so many powers. No devil fruit, confirmed. What do we do? Like, the dude's hair's on fire. like there's a dude who has like Nika cloak. He has the Hagoromo scarf and fiery hair. No devil. What, are we gonna give him a mythical zone too? Like, no, he's not. He's the only one.
Well, actually, I do have a mythical zone ready to go for him.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't have anything.
Yeah.
I was
my point is, it's like, I guess for the people who are on that side, it's like they got some part vision theories to check out. But I'm not even worried. If it's devil fruit, if not devil fruit, I don't think it's that meaningful.
So
like,
you don't think it
could go either way? I've been on the boat that it's not. If it is, it doesn't change it as much. The only part that does change it for me is like the will. Like to awaken, they have to get the will. And the guy said like I like when Luffy awakens as Nika, he doesn't go, oh, it's been 800 years since I felt this body. You know what I mean? Since I laughed this laugh. You know, he never said that. Zunisha is over here dancing away. You know, like, oh my God, I haven't heard this in 800 years, right? So for like it to be that way, it's kind of weird for the Gorosei for Saturn to say what he did the way he did, because it almost feels like he was like a long time. What does he specifically say? He says like, I almost can't remember the last time I came to the surface, right? Like I feel like that's him. Maybe Nika eventually will be like, oh yes, my pure white body. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what can happen, but I think this is like, he's from the Void Century. Yeah. And he's immortal. It's that kind of a thing.
And I agree.
Yeah, immortal, but it doesn't have to be through his own means. I'll throw that one out there. You know what I mean, but
I think there's a lot of possibilities with this transformation, to be honest.
Yeah.
I kind of err more on the side that this is a genuine transformation that probably like Imu gave him like a little bit of a blessing, because I think we talked about that before too, like how since Imu, like, or not Imu, but since Mother Nature hates devil fruits, there should be some sort of like natural transformation that Mother Nature actually is okay with, which I think we both kind of came onto that one. What's up?
Yeah. No, because that was an old short. Nobody watched that one, but like.
Oh, you made a short on that one?
Really Yeah.
All right, time for me to become Steel D Theory. Then I'm gonna finally make that video.
Yeah, I mean that one. It was the moment the Holy Knights came out. That was the first Holy. Yeah. That was technically my first Holy Knight theory. The powers the Holy Knights have, powers given to them by Emu, the blessings of God. That was like essentially.
And it's like ironic because like the blessings of God is like a demonic transformation.
Yeah, exactly.
The irony is
exactly.
Good. I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, like the
I'll go for it.
It could be something given to them by Emu, but it's I think that line is like too powerful for me when he says like I can't remember the last time. Maybe it was given to them by Emu a long time ago.
Maybe.
Or memories could be given memories. That's true. You know what? I could see it that way because here's the thing. If let's say new person, give them a devil fruit. This actually lines up with my Blackbeard theory. Now I think about it. My Blackbeard theory was that Blackbeard is able to take in people's memories and then get an awakening from it. So like he would be able to do that with Whitebeard's fruit, but he's able to help his crew awaken. So the whole concept is memories expedite awakening. The experiences along the way. So for example, Blackbeard got Whitebeard's fruit and immediately was able to use all of his abilities to the top levels of it. Why? Because he's experienced it for over 30 years being on his ship. He's seen it. He's experienced it. He's seen him fight people up front. Roger, Ace, whatever, right? So he had 30 years of experience, memories of that, right? So let's say a Gorosei member dies, Devil Fruit transfers, Emu has a way to transfer memories. So now the next person who eats it gets a memory, and then now they can forcefully like awaken. They don't need the jump start. So everything that Luffy did in the story, that person gets immediately. It could be something like that. I could see that. So it could be a Devil Fruit. I could exactly. I could see that.
You can see both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like there's a lot of ways you can like take this transformation. That magic
100%.
circle though. The number 5, people look at that and they're like, hey, 5 Gorosei, Elder 5. You know, we got like Saturn, 5th planet from the sun if we don't include Earth, and only the other Gorosei. Like what? How do you interpret the 5 there?
Yeah, I think it was just like.
Or do you think it's actually 55,555?
I need to know who posted that one.
Which one?
Was it you? The 55,000?
No, I just made that up.
No, I think what I said earlier, like Oda wanted to do magic, had magic circles in mind, and instead of going through like an overly complicated, like super serious circle, like I made the joke in the live reaction where I was like, man, like it's just so funny because it's like a Raizo. It's Raizo with like the shadow clone jutsu, nin, and then it's just like the goofy clones, and it's like sort of making fun of Naruto, sort of making fun of things. This time it's a little bit different, but like you and I both know, like there's so many magic manga, manhwa, whatever, like anime, and like magic circles are so crazy, and they're so like serious to a certain extent, and like serious as in their design is like super discreet to the point is like I remember, isn't it like Magic High School or something, like the guy's ability is like he can instantly read magic circles like that people put up so that people have to like be intricate with their designs, and so he's able to read it and then counter it, and it's like he
High School of Irregulars.
Yeah, that one. I like that one.
That's an obscure one. Yeah. So the number 5 though, Par, what do you think about it?
I think it's just Oda looking at magic circles and simplifying. He just said like, yeah, there's no reason to make it complicated. Let's just.
So you think
5 Gorosei? 5?
Oh, okay.
Whatever. Yeah, super simple. Super.
Do you think we'll see like a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or 4 for the other Gorosei? Or do you think they're all gonna be 5?
Yeah, we'll probably see like all the way down to 0. Like he did this to CP9, right?
Yeah,
like,
CP9. What barista? Not barista. I said barista. Baroque Works.
And the only thing I don't want to see is like the same bullshit. Like, oh, CP9 is the strongest, but CP0 is the strongest.
That's what they always do, though. Like that's an Oda like classic, right?
Not that I hate
and then
that.
Baroque Works, right? Like, oh, Zero's like Crocodile. He's the strongest out of everybody. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
It's like
he does that all
the classic
time.
thing. And then it almost existed for the Big Mom Pirates, where like the older you are, the stronger you are out of the elder brothers and stuff. Because Perospero was like number 1 or 2 or something. And then Daifuku and Oven, they're like 3 and 4.
Yeah.
There's something there, man.
Oda likes doing goofy number stuff, and hey, I'm not too bothered
I
by
love
it.
that. Every anime does it though.
The reason why I like Saturn being the weakest is kind of lame. You know what I mean? Because then it's like, if that's the play, right? Unless he's saying 5 is the strongest and 0 is the strongest, that's also weird. But like, I don't want number 1 to be number 1. Could be the strongest. If number 1 is the strongest, then I'd imagine it's Venus. But I don't know what to think about that.
Yeah,
it's a weird one.
I'm
at that rate. Then
I'm on the
it would
boat
just
that
be
Mercury is the strongest.
Mercury.
Yeah, the god warrior of justice.
Oh, okay, that's
because
fair.
that's the I'm kind of going off like the planet solar system thing. So the Mercury is the one really closest to the sun.
Yeah, but I guess all right.
But yeah, okay. I mean, like I guess you could say Mercury's mass isn't that great, but at the same time, Saturn's like a straight gaseous planet, so it kind of sucks too.
Yeah, I guess. Mars is kind of suck too, I think. Venus is cool.
Venus is the only planet that I think is kind of all right.
If Luffy fought this, let's say Luffy and Kizaru fought this, is that fight cooler than the Kaido fight? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you can make this cooler than the Kaido fight.
It depends. I feel like that's in terms of like
it's a heart.
Like what do you like for dinner, right? Like it's all about taste.
Yeah, that's
Everybody's
true.
different. Like I think I would enjoy this more than the Kaido fight.
Yeah,
in general, that's just because I wasn't the biggest fan of the Kaido fight. I thought it was cool.
Okay.
Like I still think it's like, top 5, top 10.
It's very,
but I wasn't like I wasn't like at the edge of my seat every chapter like, whoa, Kaido's awesome.
It's very shonen. Like that one is still very shonen, but like now we got magic circles. I'm not saying it's not shonen, but now like this guy killed somebody just by looking at him. Right?
I think a good way to put it is that I like the mystery. Like right here with Saint Saturn, we're in uncharted territory. Whereas Kaido, he was always just like a guy with a club.
True.
When he turns into a dragon, he has a demolition gust and he has bolo breath. Like he didn't really have like a big variety in his like attacks. His fighting style was pretty stagnant throughout the whole fight, which is why I like I said, I enjoyed the fight. Don't take it out of context, but it wasn't my favorite fight.
So then here's the question. So
Saint Saturn looks like he has more variety.
Yeah, that's a good point. So here's a question, right? Because on my stream I already fleshed out very long, not gonna bring it up here. You've been gaslighting me about how I haven't been posting for 2 months, blah blah blah. But funny fact, I told you the theory, and I said that he would be the Ushi Oni, and you know this. I didn't post it, but it's fine. It's whatever. My question is, right, like, because the scope of the theory that it was like a stepping stone. I'm not even upset because it's like, now that it's confirmed, I don't need to do the legwork of explaining like, hey, this guy's an Ushi Oni. Now check out the rest of this theory. Great. Love it. Cool. Now here's my question. How close do you think to the myth is he going to be? Because like with Kaido, it was like close. The storms, but like Eastern Dragons kind of or the holy things got rid of storms, right? Like they did do storm stuff, but like Kaido was like a weird twist on that. And then Nika is like Oda's own thing completely. And then there's like the Buddha, and then there's this. I'm kind of curious, like how close to the myth that's like online do you think this will be?
I think it's gonna be close. It's gonna be somewhat faithful, but it doesn't have to tie it. Like since this is One Piece, and since we don't have like a dialogue box that says Ushi Oni like Zoan fruit, I feel like Oda has a lot of room to play with. And as far as that one Marine getting his head exploded, like that's something that the Ushi, not exactly, but the Ushi Oni could like suck you in, and like if you gaze at him for too long, you're pretty much dead. So there is that. I know some people are saying it's like hockey. Maybe Saint Saturn actually meant to do that, and like he just doesn't want people to know about him. I think that's also like a case people have been making, but
it's a weird.
So
anybody below the Commodore
a little bit
rank.
strange.
Yeah.
Imagine you could have been promoted one day to Commodore. You're getting your promotion tomorrow, but you died because you didn't have the rank, the title.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I think Oda's gonna be somewhat faithful, but I don't think he's gonna be afraid to put his own spin on it though. I don't think Oda ever has been afraid of that.
Yeah. That's a. I'm glad I asked you because I feel like, as far as theories go, I don't try to focus too hard on the powers per se. I just like think about the potential, right?
Yeah.
So potentially, when I brought it up, you remember like the scope of what I was talking about. It didn't have anything to do with what he's capable of, because how close Oda wants to be with the myth, that's up to Oda. Oda can go either way. I don't know if the Ushi Oni has a cane and can summon magic circles that with the number 5.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's not the myth.
Yeah, Ushi Oni doesn't pop up and attack people with a magic circle by any means. I don't really think Ushi Oni could draw. I'm gonna be serious with you, brother. I don't think Ushi Oni could draw.
Exactly. So and that is something that I want to kind of point out, because I feel like people have been bringing up the yokai thing, and that is one part that I wish I did post earlier so that I could like be a part of the conversation as with like all the stuff. But like I feel like there's the same thing that you're saying, like the 1-to-1. Like I feel like Oda's not, he almost never does like a whole 1-to-1. Even like the story of Momotaro, it's like, yes, there's a character Momo Island Onigashima, there's like all this similar things, but it's not the story. It's similar, Yeah. And I think that's what's happening here. I think like it's the Ushi Oni. I think there will be the narrator box, but the myth behind it, Oda's gonna put his own spin on it. And right now, the thing that the part that I can say is that if people are interested in it, I go way more in depth in the live reaction about it. I don't even go this in depth in my videos, so that's why I'm saying the live reaction. But there are actually 4-ish spiders that you should look into. It's like the Mizugomo, there's the Jogorumo, and then there's the Tsuchigomo, and then there's the Ushi Oni. There are all these spiders, and the thing is, like, all of those spiders, this one aside, this one was like the one that stood out because of the form, obviously.
Yeah.
But the other one, it's fire spider, water spider, not fire spider, earth spider, water spider, and then gold spider. So one of them is after the golden orb weaver. These are all Japanese myths. Those are the spiders that I thought that these were going to be, that the Gorosei were going to be after. Missing one. I think Jupiter would be the one that's not a spider. I think, I don't want to say what it is right now, but it is a yokai. I do think it's a yokai. I know what yokai it is. I'll tell you what it is afterwards. But that's where I'm at right now, and I think it has to do a lot. If you guys go backwards and look at all the lines that like tangential to the Gorosei and Imu, they've been saying so many things about insects, going even back to Bonney, when Bonney was like with the lightsaber, she was terrified of insects. It's like, now it makes sense. And so that's where kind of the logic line started. But this actually goes back to Wano and Skypiea, which I revealed in the live reaction. We don't have to go into all that, but I'm glad because at no point did I ever like even want to fathom like how close did Oda want to be with the myths. And I think it's good to hear non-One Piece coded Sai tell me that it's probably not like 1-to-1, because I think that's more exciting to me, that it's not 1-to-1. I don't just like read like Japanese folklore and then I know exactly what this guy can do.
Yeah,
because I think that's the way Oda's gonna go. And
imagine that was the case though. That'd be pretty funny.
It would be funny, and I think Oda could pull it off. I just feel like my
Ushi Oni,
favorite
like Saturn's like, I can't go inland because Ushi Oni live by the river.
Yeah, like, hey, everything's water islands, right? Perfect for him,
hey,
right?
There we go.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Oh, and fun fact, the apparently, if you guys remember earlier on in the conversation, we're talking about Oda's pilot. He had a magician, Spiel. You go to his wiki thing, they were saying that Spiel looks like a water spider. So this magician that Oda made at the very beginning as a pilot apparently is reminiscent of a spider that walks on water. So water bug, commonly called as a water spider. I just thought that was kind of interesting as far as like, did Oda have everything figured out? Maybe not. Something similar, possibly.
50-50.
Who knows? Yeah, 50-50.
And this design here, This design, this power. I'm just going to say, we have no feats, but I'm going to say it. I think this guy's, I think he's pretty strong. Do you think that Sanji, Frankie, Vegapunk, Atlas, and Bonney can beat this man?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, no.
Why do you hit them with the impossible?
I think Saturn is so strong that we're just gonna all of the abilities that they put onto him are going to be learning, like we did with Kizaru, right? Like Luffy couldn't hit him, Sabaody, like nobody could touch him. He was that much stronger. We didn't know about Logias. We don't know about the Ushioni. We don't know about magic circles. We don't know about the Gorosei, right? I feel like that's where we're at with it. Again, the same thing with the Bonney situation. We talked about it earlier. Bonney could have the pivotal moment right here. Age him down, age him up. Terrifying thing.
Age him to his prime, Bonney. You got this.
Yeah. Yeah,
Let's
maybe
go.
it makes him stronger. Maybe all iterations of him are just insane, especially if she hits the awakened form, right? Maybe she can't change him out of this. Maybe she tries. Maybe she falls down. She's like, what? I thought I used my power on him. I thought I used the near-death experience. I guess he is at the near-death experience. And then we find out awakenings are just near-death experiences. That's what I think was going to happen. Like, Sanji can hit him. Frankie can hit him with the laser beam. Nothing. I feel like every single thing, we're just going to learn something different about it. The only person that could probably do something is Vegapunk or the Iron Giant, but I think it's Vegapunk. I just don't know what. I just don't know what Vegapunk could possibly do in this moment for him to be, like, properly prepared, because it doesn't even seem like he was cognizant of, like, this kind of ability yet. So, not too sure.
It would be really cool if, like, Vegapunk showed us that he is a great inventor. Like, oh, I created this weapon for this one scenario.
Rage. No,
yeah, who knows? And then, like, Vegapunk, he just starts going, this is headcanon now, but, like, everything Saturn can do, Vegapunk has, like, the perfect counter. Just like a machine. A machine
I
to
would
stop
love
it.
that. See, that's the thing.
And it could mimic, like,
hope.
the 900-year, like, Void Century, like, when the Ancient Kingdom was fighting against these demons. Like, maybe that's what happened.
So, basically, you're saying Vegapunk would be the Rayleigh to Kizaru in Sabaody.
Yeah, but a little bit less cool.
Tech.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. I've lost... It hurts me to say. It's not that I don't like Vegapunk. It's just I lost hope in him being like that guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's that guy. He's the smartest guy. Cool inventions, great things. But, like, whenever I come down and, like, remember we sat down like, oh, he could be like Batman. He had a whole night to think about how to deal with the raid. Didn't do shit. Didn't do dog shit. Pulled out a fucking tank that shoots out sticky white stuff to run down by himself. Got countered by the Gorosei. He had no knowledge of any of this. Despite, I don't even know what happened
Saturn,
to all the cameras.
I presume?
Yeah, like...
That's funny.
He's smart. I don't dislike him. It's just that if you...
So why don't you like him?
If you think about him with, like, your version of... what you just said, like, oh, he had everything planned out. No, you're gonna be disappointed, just don't, you know what I mean? Like, he's the guy who solves everything that all the other smart characters couldn't do. Chopper can't figure out Rumble Ball, Vegapunk can. Frankie can't figure out how to make Pluton, Vegapunk can. Caesar can't figure out Smile Fruits, Vegapunk can. You know what I mean? Like, that's at the end of the day what Vegapunk is. He's not like a Lelouch. He's not like a conniving, scheming, thinking 400,000 steps ahead. And to be fair, he said he doesn't think that far ahead. He says that science isn't meant to think that far ahead.
He wanted to nerf himself.
Yeah, well, it's like a nerf and a buff at the same time. It's a trade-off, right? I agree with it. It's like if you think too far ahead, then you stifle your innovation. But at the same time, there's a balance. You don't have to put all your points in one basket, but he did. It's fine. It's cool. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
We're here. Yeah. But yeah, none of them can do anything. I don't even think Luffy and Kizaru... Like, I want to see Kizaru hit him. Maybe.
I I'm such a huge fan of the theory that Kizaru actually helps us get out of here. Because, okay, so a little bit more headcanon here, but you know how Kizaru says, oh, this is bad? And I agree. Like, you know, Luffy did a lot of damage. Kizaru kind of passed out a little bit. Luffy also went down. It was like a equal KO in a weird way. However you want to spin it. You could say Luffy won. You could say Kizaru outlasted him. Whatever metric you have for that fight, you do you. But I do wonder if Kizaru is a little bit not happy that Saturn is here, because Saturn's going to be the one who kills Vegapunk. It almost seems like Kizaru was really trying to rush this mission so that he was the one to kill his best friend. Because, like, let's be real, Par. If me or you were sent on a mission to kill each other, you know, I want to be the guy who does it. You know, like, if it was between me and, like, my Joe Schmo boss, it's like, dang, dude, like, from one friend to another, like, I'd rather it be me. Like, it's like putting down your own dog.
Yeah, it's interesting because does Kizaru know what Saturn's capable of, in your mind?
I think Kizaru's a very smart guy, yeah.
So you think that he knew about this transformation, magic circles, like this was like we were memeing, but like at a certain extent I think it's valid. Like there was a certain era of like not reverence but like deference from Kizaru when they came here.
So whether or not Kizaru knows about this specifically, I don't think he's ever seen this. Yeah. He's probably heard of it. Like the announcer was like, hey guys, Saint Saturn's here, don't look at, like, it sounds like they have some knowledge as to what the ability is. But as far as seeing it in the flesh, I don't think so. I think this is Kizaru's first time witnessing this. And I really do want to see what Kizaru's reaction is going to be when Saturn tries to brutally murder Vegapunk. Like a giant spider just pulled up, has the bull horns. It's about to attack your best friend. Yeah, it's the mission, but it's like, dang, like, you know, Kizaru was going to shower this dude in light. Now you have, like, good old Saint Saturn about to drag him to hell. It's like, geez. Would Kizaru actually do something? Because that's a video I'm going to make, actually.
Ooh.
I'm going to make a video like about like what if the shocking event is that Kizaru turns against the Gorosei.
So
and Kizaru goes down or something.
I'm not like against it either, right?
Yeah.
Like I think it makes sense. I just want to know I would need to know more about Kizaru and Saturn.
Oh yeah.
I guess the progression could be that like we learn a bit about Saturn, and then from learning about that bit, that's what turns Kizaru off, or his action of Vegapunk, and then Kizaru helps, and then we learn about Kizaru afterwards. That could work, right? The thing that like is kind of funny is like that common knowledge around the Gorosei guy, right? Because when we got on the ship, they're like, nobody's allowed to, like, he has to get his food tested, poison tested, right? Like, that was a thing, right? I'm not making that up. He had, like,
I think you made that up.
Was it Kizaru who taste tested, or was it someone else?
I'm kidding. Like, so yeah, it was somebody else though.
It was somebody else, yeah. So we had that, right? And then like I'm almost thinking like, so Saturn was on the ship and he's just like, all pacifistas stand down, you know what I mean? Even though like I don't know why he wouldn't just like tell them to fuck shit up. Like I don't know. If I had an army of giant laser robot machines, just go for it. Hey, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Maybe he's that cracked. Sure, show us. That's cool.
He just wanted like, any excuse to leave that room.
Yeah, so he leaves the room, right? He goes from the sleeping state from last chapter. I don't know how this summoning circle comes up. He slams it down. Poof! Summoning circle, right?
Yep.
Somewhere along the lines, either it's common knowledge what Saturn is capable of. Like, hey, we know specifically Commodore and below can't look at him because he'll just look at you and then kill you, because that's what happened here. It wasn't like the Marine guy looked at him and insta died. No, Saturn was like, ugh, and then the guy died, yeah. Right?
I love that you add the growl to it. Make it more real. Like
I don't know what to call that. It's like
is that?
His eyes are glowing, but it's like there's a gleam and he's like, like there's like a thing, yeah. And he's like a bull, right? So there's that, right? But somewhere along the lines, if it's not Kamaj, could you imagine Saint Saturn just hands like a note card to the announcer guy, and he's just like, here, read this.
Yeah,
while
read this
I enter
line.
in.
People need to know not to look at me. I do this every Tuesday.
I'm about to make landfall. Meanwhile, he doesn't make landfall. He summons out of the ground. It's like, that's not exactly what landfall means, but sure, we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you. Like fall to landfall. Kaido made landfall when he fought Kid. He poofed. I don't know if we'd say the same thing, but
maybe that's how he views it, though, right? Because I mean, technically, he kind of sees himself as like a celestial dragon god. Like
true.
I feel like it's ironic, is what it is.
I almost can't remember the last time I came to the surface. You know what I'd almost want now? I'd want his ship to be so tall that it was still red line level high. He was just there the entire time, and he just refused to get down. That would have almost been too goofy for One Piece, but it would have been so funny if he was just like in the crow's nest, and the crow's nest is so absurdly high, and he's just chilling there like a spider. Wait, no, spiders actually do that. Huh.
Oh yeah, you think he's gonna start shooting webs out?
That's the thing that I always... Web shooting is kind of fun. The question is it out the butt, because that's... Vegapunk already demonstrated the ability. The question is where.
I love that you say that. Like, hey guys, don't blame me for this. Blame Vegapunk. He's the one who already did something like this. Like,
why are you saying as if it's my fault for writing the story? Why are you making that It's there. You made the joke too.
I did not make that joke. See, I only eat the finest of meats.
What gas station?
I only eat the finest of meats. I only dine on the finest of theories and ideas. I'm a sommelier of when it comes to theories and meat.
Pronounce that again.
I said it really fast so that you couldn't hear me mispronounce it.
No, I know. Say it again. Say it again.
I'm not gonna say it again. I'm not gonna say it again. It sounds right when it sounds right if you say it fast. Okay.
Rewind. You know what's funny? Unless you cut this out, they can rewind and hear over and over. Heck, I'll do it too.
No,
you know what's funny? Asai's gonna voice over it. He's gonna play the Google.
Okay, here in Oklahoma, we pronounce it Samanye. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
In Oklahoma, that's how we do it. It's a southern. It's the southern pronunciation. All right. Nobody knows what that word is. Nobody knows what that means. It's a made up title. It's just like having the 50 titles for Saint J. Garcia, God Warrior, Head of Science, Defense, and everything else. It's made up. All right. It doesn't mean anything.
I can't believe you validated the title thing by saying it's like sommelier.
That's what it is, okay?
Surely
there's no quality here in Oklahoma.
Awake for he won't catch that if I slur and
there's no binaries here, Par.
Watch, Oklahoma's like
the best drinks we have are moonshine you can buy from some guy across the street selling it out of his truck. All right. We take what we get here.
Nah, that was great. That was a great thing to have hearing at the end. Woo! You just made up your own language for your state. Incredible.
Hey, you know how it is.
Incredible.
It's that southern flair coming out of me.
Yeah, beautiful.
So
that's what we're calling it, the southern.
You call it southern flair, man. Come on.
Do you think Oda has like if we look through his studio, just like one of the books, we just like magic circles on the side? Probably, right?
Yeah, but he has Google though, right?
Yeah, but like
Oda says he uses the wiki for like attack names that he forgot about. So
but again, like
I'm sure
chapter 233, that was a while ago. Internet was there, but I wonder. Hey, I'm not saying it's cancelable. All I'm saying is that like
that's definitely getting cut.
That's definitely not okay. Stop.
That's definitely getting cut. What I can't believe you could saying that on the internet. That's a digital footprint.
Hold on, that's not the craziest thing that was ever said.
All right.
Here.
Well, thank you guys for stopping by. Hopefully, you walked away with some great insight to this chapter yet again. And thanks for sticking around for about 3 hours ish. Not bad.
Fun chapter.
But yeah, you guys know where Par is. I feel like I don't have to shout him out, but he's here and he's always on the internet. If you subscribe to his channel, you might think it's dead because he hasn't posted in 2 months, but he is alive. He is still there. He occasionally live streams, and maybe one day he'll come back and post a video. You never know. You never know. Have a great night, guys.
The gas.